Boom, boom. This is Ken Rubberman, and welcome back to the channel. All right, we got a little bit of Soul Land reloaded up today, and we finally got our first SSS Divine Tool that we have been waiting for. Dragon God Crystal is what it's called. You'll see the actual event on your desktop, so it's a major event. Not something shoved under the time limited events. But they're usually when they're introducing a new item, they usually do have a desktop event. So basically pretty much standard. Okay, login rewards. Interesting, you do actually get some of those crystals at login rewards, which is I think is a little bit different. I don't think they've ever actually offered shards for it inside of the login rewards on any item before. Now they'll sometimes they'll offer chests like this, but it's only for the first day that you actually get these extra 10 shards. So that's pretty interesting. Okay. So it's the dragon, So it's interesting. The Divine Tool Pack. Of course, if you want to pay, there's a lot of options here that you can purchase. The standard fare of if you collect a certain amount of crystals. Then if you want to use top up. Then we got the Divine Tool Sale. Now, you can get 30 inside of here. Okay. Dragon God Crystal, you can get 30 inside of here. Okay. I already have 11 because I hit 10 from the login rewards, as I just showed you, and I hit 1 on the actual draw that you get, the lucky suck charger. I actually hit and got 1 shard. I hit and I got a bunch of stuff. I got some Oracle Seals, so that's like probably the best roll I've ever gotten inside of this before. Also remember to make sure that you do actually do the tasks in here, because it is a chance to get some stuff. It's not a whole lot of stuff, but at least you can get some stuff, and it's just basically Soul Beast. Okay, so I got inside of that, but so you can get now, as of course inside of here you can get this chart. Now it takes 90 to make this. Okay, so they're giving you 10 inside of there. You can get 30 here. So there's your. So there is 40, but then they have some more that you can get inside of here up to 30. Okay, so 30 here, 30 here equals 60, 10 there in the login. That's 70 that you'll be able to get. Okay. So, and these are the actual tentative that you use to purchase the second part of the exchange. So that's these right here, but as you can see, I've already got all that. So they're giving you a little bit more than normal. My assumption is they're probably wanting people to actually spend some money to buy extra shards so that they can get it now. But I'm like, even if you do get it now, you're not going to be able to use it. I mean, you're at least going to have to put 1 or 2 stars on it before it'll be useful. Unless you're a newer player, of course, then you should, then you might want to do that. But yeah, for us, it's probably not something. But they do have some other Shards of Future I'm going to pick up because I need these. The Asura Godly, I've got that at 4-star, but I want to bring up my Divine Sword because this is the other one that I use. So yeah, so it's an interesting event. So they've got a little bit more into it, a little bit more than they normally do, associated with the other events. Because plus, it taking 90. Okay, so. That's it. But what I'm using right now is I'm using the godly form. That's at 4 stars, and I've got this at 2 stars. I use these 2. Okay, and then I pair it off with these 2. Okay, I'll be moving these 2 up into position pretty soon. But the shards for this are just really, they don't really give them that often. They don't have divine tools that often. As you can see, they just don't do divine tools very often. So so it's nice to see a triple S one, but yeah, it's going to be something we're going to have to wait to use. But it's a really good piece of equipment. Okay, at the start of the battle, all allies immediately receive the effects of a dragon warrior. Now, this is a hit point type, so it's not a attack type. Okay, at the start of the battle, all allies immediately receive the effects of Dragon Roar, Dragon's God Protections, Dragon God Links will also receive 300 blessings. Each blessing consumed will increase the healing effect by 0.2% for all allies. Okay. So it's not a bad thing. So, and this is at 0 stars. So this is what you're going to get at base. Okay. You get the effects of the Dragon Word, Dragon's God Protection. You receive 200 blessing. Each blessing consumed will increase the healing effect by 0.1% instead of 0.2 for all allies. Each ultimate skill cast by allies will consume 30 blessings, and each ally's death consumes 75 blessing. Whenever blessings are consumed, Dragon's God Wrath will be triggered. When Dragon's God is under disables, magic damage reduction increased by 30 for 3 seconds. Okay, so basically damage reduction and some healing. Okay, and then Dragon's God Wrath deals a high amount of physical damage to all enemies, so you do have a little bit of attack in there. Okay, so but it's primarily a hit point based attack. So it's not it's not bad at all. Okay, it's a little bit more healing. I mean, you can only put out 2 destruction and 2 hit point when you have the 4 team up for your divine. You can't use like all 4 destruction and all 4 HP. You have to put 1. You can only have 2 of each active. And when you can only put out 2, you get 1 of each active. So that's the way it goes. So it's useful, but it's going to have to override this for me. Okay, so that's what I'll do is I'll be looking what this offers, because this offers a lot. Okay, every 5 seconds the Soul Master with the lowest hit points is protected. 40% of the damage taken will be converted to a shield that lasts for 5 seconds. And then upon taking a normal attack, the attacker's attack speed is reduced by 50 every 2 rounds of protection. Collateral true damage equivalent to 250% of the current shield. HP will dealt to the enemies around the Soul Master in question. So this has got a lot of good stuff on it. Okay, and I've got it maxed, so you can get all these attributes. Okay, so these are nothing to shake a stick at. They're only SS. Like I say, I'd like to get all the SS pluses, but a triple S is going to be nice. So you might be able to get by with it at 0 stars in some cases, but you at least want to put a star or 2 on it before you start reeling it in, of course. But if you're having trouble surviving, this will be a good way to actually supplement that. So this is the first one, and it's called the Dragon God Crystal. Okay, so it's nice that they're giving you more shards. Normally at 90 we would get 60, and then we'd have to do 2 of it, so 15 each to get the remaining 30 that you need. But it looks like this case they might, if they given us some of that, we might be able to get it on the next shot instead of having to wait 3 shots to get it. That would be pretty nice. But I don't know if that's going to happen. We'll have to wait and see when the next event for it comes out, which can be whenever, because they're really not. They don't really sort of time these. They try to do it every 2 weeks, but I've noticed that sometimes they go a little bit longer than that between the events. Okay, so Dragon God Crystal, but time limited events. They've still got your weekly standard events up. You got your 20. Remember to hit this today, because if you don't clear this today, you've got to clear all these except for 1. You can only miss 3, and if you do, you won't be able to get the Devil Spider Core. So you need to do this today, because you can only draw so many times. You can only once all of the items in the wheel are taken, you can't draw anymore. Okay. So 8, 16, 24. You got to hit 21 to get this. You can only miss 3 times. Okay, so you got to roll on this. If you miss today, you're only going to be able to get 16. You'll be able to get the actual Martial Souls, but you won't be able to get the Spider Core. So always make sure you do this. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the 3 days that this goes. So don't miss out on this. Okay? And remember, you can only miss 3, because 24, because you can only do 8 because that's how many items there are actually in here. Once you get in here, you can't spin anymore. You can still collect the tickets for the next day, but if you don't do the spins right here, if you miss today, you won't be able to get the spider core. So make sure that you do that. Everything else is pretty much standard. Okay, there's nothing else of consequence inside of the time limits, which is cool because the time limits was maxing out the last couple of days. It's been ridiculous. So we do back to having desktop screen. So keep that in mind. Make sure you hit the Lucky Secret Treasure, as I say. It's nice. It's a chance to get 3. I mean, if you could hit this 30, okay, that you'd be able to get the weapon, right now. If you hit this, you hit some of these, things like that. We'll have to see. Also, they changed the actual item inside of the theater. So if you go into the theater now, it's actually a chest. So you have both of the options right now. You have the 9, what's it called? 9. Oh, it's got the 9. What's it? 9 something weapon? 9, 10. What's it called? It's 9 something. 9 transition soul instrument. So that's in there now as an option as well too. You can choose the actual. You can choose between the ta, and you can choose between the 9 transitions. So it's up to you. I'm continuing on this because I want to work it up. Okay, it's a pretty good actual one. I like the fact that you can also put SS pluses inside of this, so that's something that's really nice actually. Makes it more strong. It makes it much more powerful, of course. So keep that in mind. So that's in there. Everything else pretty much standard. Keep an eye on the battle pass. I'm locked at this point. I maxed out all the missions, so I just have to wait for the next set to come up. We're getting through, moving through there. Make sure that you do the short, the normal mode. Make sure that because you get the tickets. Okay, so you want to get these tickets because you can use these tickets for BB Dong, the SS Plus version of BB Dong. This one right here. That's a chance to get the shards for her. I could take her up another one. Activate Undying Rikasha. Recovering all her health and keeps. She's always been a tank. I was really surprised that she was introduced as a tank because her survivability is excellent. It's pretty much off screen in terms of what she can survive as. Upgrade that because I took her up to God 3. Yeah, so and these shards for her are free. I mean, you just do 100. I mean, you should be doing 100 a day. I mean, you also want to make sure that on a daily basis, you want to make sure that you do actually summon your mutated beast. Okay, because this gives you a lot of chests and keys. So you also want to make sure you want to hit that. And it takes it takes more than 100 actually, quite a few more than 100 to actually summon the mutated beast. I can't remember exactly how much it is, but I think you have to run it. I think you have to spend. It's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of runs that you have to do. I think you have to throw out. You have to buy 5 with the soul crystals. Buy 5 sets of stamina with the soul crystal. You want to do that for the soul purchase anyway. You get Oscar sausages back as a reward for doing that. And then you have to. I think you have to use about 5 Oscar sausages to actually get enough to summon the mutated beast. But you do want to make sure that you do that. You also want to hit the devil whales today. I'm at level 4. I'm number 4 in personal honor. My sect is number 6, so I'm right here at number 4. You may as well do it simply because of the fact that there's rewards for it. Okay, make sure that you're also watching using this. Idle Angels, they always have Idle Angels. Idle Angels, this is probably one of the most advertised games out there. In terms of when they usually it's pretty much like Idle Angels. Mostly the idle games. Occasionally they do have something different in here, but you always want to make sure that you do it simply because of the fact that you might get this, which is what you want. That's a max SS plus chest, guys. That's a Sea Guy Tank Sand check. He's in that chest, which is why you want to do it. I find that I do get this quite frequently, which is why I have started to focus on a little bit more. I don't know if they changed. I'm not sure if they changed the actual percentage, but this is, as you can see, this is a tank sand chest right here. So yeah, you definitely want to hit it, because it can roll out some stuff sometimes, and anytime, anything to get Sea Guy chest, because that chest is only available. You'll get it through events. Anytime there's a Soul Master, they'll have a Soul Master. That chest will be up 10, 20 shards, and you can get it, of course, inside of the actual theater. You can get 2 of them right here. Okay, but that's really the only steady supply of them that you have. I was really hoping that they would one day switch the normal mode to, include him. I think they will, because when this normal mode first started out, BB Dong wasn't in it. Okay, it only had the 4 bases. Okay, the 4 base SS pluses. And then they added the next chest, which had Tang Chen and had BB Dong. So I'm assuming that they'll put it up to the max chest, which is the 8 choice chest, which has Wu and Sea Guy Tank Sand in it. So that's what I'm hoping. So I assume this will change, but I do this every day, and it's where I get the shards at. Every time, people don't understand that you want to keep leveling them up even after you've fully broken the divine skill, because you get the handbook. You can do boundary breakthroughs for all of these, for all the characters of SS Origin. So keep using the chest. Boundary breakthrough 6, 12, 8, 9, 10. So each time you do this, as you can see, it's a team buff. It's a team buff. So you might. I would consider, it's a little bit of BP each time you go up, because you do get a buff. I think it's only like 0.5% is what the standard is, but it's something that you want to participate in as well. So when you get the chest, use them. Don't let them just set. Just go ahead and use them. I'm right about up to 10. That's what I'm doing. I'm alternating. The buff, it doesn't matter which character it is. It doesn't matter if it's Oscar versus Chen or Tang Sand. They're SS versions. It doesn't matter. It's the same buff for the character. There is no based if it's based on what type of character it is, or how strong it is perceived to be, because of course Chen and Tang Sand are much more useful than some of the others, but they're always the same. It's all the same for all of them, all the SSs. Each time you do a bounty breakthrough, it's the same amount, so it doesn't matter which ones you put it on. So you want to level it up as fast as possible. So alternate between them and bringing them up. It's that way you can get more BP a little bit faster. Okay, so that's something that you want to focus on as well. And you could charge for them all over the place. Some of the actual stores are selling shards for them. The shops have shards. If you just look at a shop, every now you'll see shards for the different characters, for SS characters. I don't think there is a daily when you're running woos. When you're doing the daily, there is a chance to actually get. You do get some shards for Bosak. For her, there are a chance to get 4 shards for her inside of one of those particular events. So keep that in mind as well, and get the shards and apply it to them, because even once they're maxed out, you can still get points from it. And it's really low. The boundary breakthrough, I think it's only like 12 the first time. So it's not a whole bunch of shards. It's not like you got to get another 90 or something like that. It's not. It's like a really small amount to do the breakthrough, and you get a little bit of BP from it. So that always works out. So that's pretty much all that we've got. Make sure that you're focusing on your actual sec speed race. Okay, this is going to be going out. I mean, it says we're up to 10, so we're really doing a lot better this time. I think we might be able to get 9. I don't know. We might be able to level up. The first one was 13, then we moved up to 10. We're not going to get much past, I think, 6. The jump from like 6 down to 5 is like astronomical. That's some of those girls are huge guilds. So we're never going to be able to gather up that speed that fast. But you should participate in as much as you can, because you do get really good rewards. Okay, the rewards, you get a lot of diamonds on a bunch of materials. So it's just something that helps helps you be able to level up the materials that you need for soul bones and whatnot. You can get them in there. So it's as well as you get some of the nice essence for the immortal herbs are in there as well. These right here are inside of the chest that you run for that. So you always want to make sure that anytime you can get these, you want to be snatching them up, because these are what I find that this is what you get most of your BP increase on, is when you use the herb essence to level them up. So we got another one of these, Super Warrior. I don't think I've seen this one before. This might be a new one. Yeah, it's a new one. It's got 30 seconds up. It's not a lot of times you'll see the X right over here. If you see the X right over here, that means you can exit out of it right now, which is what I do for most of them. I do on occasion if the game I've never seen before and it looks interesting. I might just jot down the name. Don't normally end up when I have to start if you go look at it. Oh, got 300 that time, but you get a pretty good sets up here. This would not, of course, be happy, but any of these would be nice. This with only 2 and 1, I mean, you can get 50, 60 of these a day just by doing your normal mode. So this is really not going to make an impact, but any of these can be useful. And I find out that it is usually these 3 most of the time. There's only 6 of them that you can do a day. It's not 10 like it is on the theater. So I've got no more for today. So, but yeah, it does have pretty good rewards in terms of that. So it might be something that you want to look at. I know you have to wait, but yeah, it is what it is. So that's everything for today. But yeah, get in there, Dragon God Crystal. You should be able to snatch up 70 instead of 60. Definitely do that, because once we've got 70, that only means we need 20 shards instead of 30. Now, if they have the next event of this, you'll get 15 shards. But if they throw the 10 in the login rewards like they did this time, you won't have to wait until the 3rd. We'll be able to get this on the 2nd event. So it's exceedingly important that you log in to get this, because we might be able to snatch this Beastie Boy up inside of 2 events instead of waiting for the 3 events. It's a standard. And like I say, it is a really good tool. And if you're having some survival issues, it definitely might, because it is an HP related triple S, but it's triple S. So it has, as you can see, it has more beneficial buffs and attributes that make it useful. Okay. Granted, if you have a maxed out SS Plus, yeah, it's probably not going to be. But once you get it at a couple stars on it, yeah, as we said, it's usually 2 or 3 stars is when a previous, you have a maxed out SS. Usually when you get 2 or 3 stars on the SS Plus, it usually equates to or exceeds that SS. And it's the same with the triple S's. A couple of stars, it's gonna exceed or meet or exceed the specifications on the SS Plus. So you can then replace it. So that's the way you look at it. But but getting the shards as fast as possible. It looks like they're being very generous with the shards in this particular incident, which is nice. So yeah, but definitely make sure you get that login reward, because we might be able to snatch it up. We'll have to see. We should see the second event for this, hopefully in a couple of weeks. But they're not very, as you can see, just from the number of divine tools that they have actually launched. Divine tools are not something that they're regular release like the characters. See, we've barely got 1 screen of SS pluses. Okay, or of divine tools. Okay, we've got 4 SS pluses, 4 SS. So I assume we'll get 4 of these, and the reason you give you a set of 4 is because that's all you can apply at one time. In the double set match teams, you can only apply 4, 2 HP, 2 destruction. So we're going to get triple S will get 2 HP, 2 destruction. I was really been nice to see a destruction, but we'll settle for an HP. It is triple S, so there is that to take into account. But yeah, so it could be a ways before we actually see the second event. But make sure you do get those extra so that you might be able to get it on the second try instead of having to wait for the third try to actually snatch it up. Because of the space between the events, getting it as fast as possible would be beneficial. Okay? So yeah, that's everything that I've got. So again, thanks a lot for watching. Remember to subscribe. Once you've subscribed, you'll see the bell. Click on it. You get notified each time I drop a video. So this is Ken Rear, still in the corner, still coming at you, signing out.